you're not talking to her about it. Why? What's going through your mind as a man?
As a man, I'm trying to figure it out. Trying to figure out the next move, the next situation. Borrowing stuff from people that kind of embarrassed about the situation.
Embarrassed?
So I'm trying to figure out what can I do to make things better. It's not that I don't want to talk to her. It's just the fact that I'm trying to figure it out my damn self.
Men, you can't tell me you don't understand where this brother coming from.
He didn't meet me at the top of his craft while
Okay.
he was bawling.
Excuse me?
There was somebody else that was with him at the top of this craft while he was bawling that created the situation initially.
Okay. It's up to you, first and foremost, to not post those things. And once you put them up there, now you have to deal with it.
Well, then someone needs to help him then. Shaq, can he get a Papa John's?
Kiss, that was wrong. Joe?
Yeah, I'm out, y'all.
Rise and shine, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Truth Factor. Today's show is going to be very different. Many of you guys saw the video, I'm sure of it, that's going viral. Everybody's talking about it. Joe Smith, his lovely wife, Kisha, are having a horrible argument about her doing OnlyFans without him knowing about it. Obviously, it's escalated. Everybody's criticizing. Everyone is speculating. But I wanted to bring this family in to be able to have a heart-to-heart conversation to try and help mediate and heal their relationship. I just want to get them back to harmony, okay? We're not poking fingers. We're not poking fun. This is simply to talk about conflict resolution inside of this family household. Without any further ado, let's get into it. Joe, pleasure meeting you.
All right, pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Pleasure meeting you,
Hey,
Kiss.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. Guys, welcome in. Sorry that we're meeting on such unfortunate circumstances, obviously. I just want to talk with you guys, okay? Obviously, this started over a video that went very viral. I shared it. I reacted to it, of course. Everybody's doing the same, but they're seeing the video from just you guys arguing, and they're just talking about it from that point. I want to know what led up to that point. Like, what happened moments before this argument, and then we'll go back and find out what's been going on that made this whole thing manifest anyway. So, if you don't mind, Kiss, take me right before that argument. What happened? What causes you guys this big uproar?
We were just arguing about just situations at home where how he found out. He says that, he went on my phone or something, but I know that a friend of his told him.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, Joe, you mind telling me? You go to her, you tell her you know about her OnlyFans now, and obviously you've heard about it through someone else, and they showed it to you. They've already shown you the proof, I guess, and then you go to her knowing everything full well, or what?
Yeah, they told me about it, and when I asked her about it, it just the conversation just went left.
Absolutely.
Like it was just went from actually above the OnlyFans and just start pointing at everything that I wasn't doing or I wasn't able to do around the house. So that's why she did it. But the fact that she had one wasn't the issue.
Right. Okay, so I want to point something out. A lot of times when we go to our wives and we're trying to have what we think should be a simple conversation, and we get a whole bunch of things that's been going on in the past. It seems like they're saving up stuff. It's kind of how their mind works. Okay, so we feel like they're being unfair, right? They're talking about subjects that we didn't bring up, right? They're switching the narrative. It's somehow coming out to be your fault. It's a lot of times because women are not as confrontational as men, right? Now, a masculine trait is to fix problems within your family, fix problems, period. Well, women necessarily don't really have that. So she holds it in, where if you have a problem, you're going to say it. For her, a lot of times she's going to harbor it, and then it just comes out whenever you confront her about it. It's kind of like if you squeeze a lemon, what's going to come out? Lemon juice, right? So if it's at that time you're applying pressure to her about anything you're upset about, what's going to come out of her of what she's been thinking, how she sees it, probably what she blames you for, and all these types of things, right? And it's going to be difficult to work with that conversation. That's why I say conflict resolution is a skill that both people must really work to have, because you got to deal with each other and work through your problems, right? The first thing I noticed about the video was it wasn't the issue that everybody seems to be making it about, being on OnlyFans. Right. I promised to me, and you tell me if I'm wrong, but it seems your issue was that she didn't talk to you about it.
And that's that's the biggest issue.
Right.
That's the biggest issue, and that's probably one of the first things I even mentioned on the video. You know, why couldn't you discuss it with me prior, or right after you did it, or when you was thinking about it? You know, at some moment, you know, I'm your partner in this relationship.
Absolutely.
You know, so at some point, you know, you would think that out of respect that you would come and discuss it with me.
Absolutely. Now, before I hit the video, while it would seem simple that she should have this conversation with you, here's what I mean by there are a lot of other things that goes on in her mind and why that may not be as simple as you think it is. Now, it may be something that you don't want to hear, but I want you to just try and hear her, right? Kiss. You guys, you said already in the video that you guys were going through some financial things, right? Okay, now you find yourself on OnlyFans, you're already doing what you believe is going to fix this financial problem. Why didn't you tell him? Just what was going through your mind? Was it fear? Was it you believing he might say no, and you know that you feel like this will really work, and if you don't, the financial problem would continue? Just tell us what you were thinking.
I'm thinking like he has his secrets, so this is mine.
Okay.
And at least my secret is just me doing my thing to make money.
Okay. So, but you didn't just do it because he had a secret and you wanted to have yours, right?
No,
The
I was
financial
doing
situation.
it just to make money, but I don't feel like I have to discuss things with someone that keeps things from me.
Okay. So now imagine you guys are having a conversation and he says to you, "Hey, you didn't talk to me about it," right? What you said was, "I tried to present other options to you."
I have.
And so that sounds like you only did it because you tried to present other options and he wasn't hearing it. Not that you guys both have a secret or he has a secret. and
No,
you can
I
have
did.
one.
I mean, I'm doing the OnlyFans thing because I need money. Period. Okay,
Right.
that's what it is.
And you didn't talk to him because.
I didn't talk to him because I feel like I don't have to.
Right. So, okay, so why don't you feel like you have to talk to him?
I just told you why.
Because he has secrets?
Because he don't talk to me about shit. So
Okay.
I'm not talking to you.
Okay. So you hear that, right? Now, what do you feel that he didn't talk to you about?
When I first ask about how we can get a solution, I don't get solutions. I mean, this is not just yesterday or the day before or a week ago. This is ongoing. I ask for solutions and I don't get solutions. So why should I keep talking? And then what? You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't have any, so I'll figure out my own. Do my thing. You know. You don't help me with the other jobs that I've started either, except for the moving company. You know what I mean? I asked you about how can I do puppy friends. You have no input, no nothing. You know, the
Sure.
moving company, he just worked with me because he had to. So it's not like he wanted to. You know what I mean? So,
Absolutely.
I mean, what? What am I supposed to do?
Right, and
So
that's
that's why
the statement.
I stopped
What am I
talking.
supposed to do? Right now, guys, you'll have these type of problems in your relationships where you feel like your partner is doing something, not giving you what you need, and oftentimes you'll think, well, why don't I just behave that way? You've heard it being said, right? Two wrongs don't make a right. Right? Both people have to be working together to resolve the conflict, or it's going to be a broken thing. Now, I say a divorce or a separation is made up of many failures, many failed arguments. So when you guys say, hey, let's just not even continue the argument, I think you should look at that as both of you guys failed, because those problems don't just go away because you stop talking about them. Now, you heard Kiss say in her most honest voice that she looked at him and she said, okay, I presented him with some options. And when he didn't respond back to me with anything adequate, any information, I felt like he's keeping secrets. So if he's doing that, then why do I have to talk to him? Now, you can understand what she's thinking, but you can also see how that would be counterproductive, because what happens is when Joe finds out, he's absolutely upset because she didn't talk to him. Now, when this happens, he's not realizing that he somehow manifested this by not talking to her, because when he didn't talk to her, I'm sure it wasn't for malicious reasons. Let's just say this. She asked you about finances, right? What can I do to help? Joe, finances are at a problem right now. If we don't correct this problem, it's going to get worse, right? You're not talking to her about it. Why? What's going through your mind as a man?
As a man, I'm trying to figure it out.
Right.
Trying to figure out the next move, next situation. Making calls, borrowing stuff from people, and kind of embarrassed about the situation.
Embarrassed?
So I'm trying to figure out what can I do to make things better, make it a little bit easier.
Right.
So around the household. So I mean, it's not that I want to talk to her. It's just the fact that I'm trying to figure it out my damn self.
Men, you can't tell me you don't understand where this brother coming from. You've got life figured out, seemingly, right? When you met your wife, you had it all together. You was balling, right, at the top of your craft, getting money. You think life's going to always look like this, right?
Wait, he didn't meet me at the top of his craft while
Okay,
he was balling.
excuse me?
So let's put that there. There was somebody else that was with him at the top of this craft while he was balling that created this situation initially.
Okay.
You know, I just came in to try to help clean up. But you can't clean up when someone's not helping you do it.
Okay, so let's just say at one place in his life, he completely understands his finances. So whether or not he met you that way, he was at a stage in his life where
He was,
things
and
going
that's why
great, right?
I don't understand how we can't get back to that when I'm such a force. I'm a pit bull.
Well, again, it's something that you have to learn with trial and error as you grow. So let's just say at one point he's dependent on himself, his own physical abilities to access the wealth in his life, right?
Right.
Now, he would get comfortable with that. That would be the way he moves, right? Now, after the league, after the game, it's a little bit difficult now to manifest that same income. You learn now that that probably was the most money you'll ever make unless you figure out some new way to make money at a high pace like he was, right? So a lot of players that go through that, number one, you putting time, effort into your craft to even become that good, right? And then the money that you make brings a lot of women to you. So often they don't become really developed when it comes to even learning how to find a woman or even how to be the type of man for a woman. They didn't have to work to get her, right? And so most of the time that most of us young boys out here trying to meet women and date, he's playing ball, right? So his interactions with women ain't going to be as much. His understanding, all that stuff to vet for, ain't going to be as much, right? And actually, the person.
He says he had his mom with him the first year, so that was.
Yeah, but your mother is the only thing that really teaches you how to vet and understand women is understanding women. Your mother's not really going to. Her advice often is going to ruin your concept of how you perceive women. So you can't really go off that. You know what I mean? So. If you do that, you'll be looking to save the first woman, like you wish your mother probably had, or be the man that you wish your mother would have had.
Right.
And you don't know those women that you meet, and they may not even deserve that, right? So you have to understand the women that you're dealing with, and the ones you want in your life, so to speak, right? But that's neither here nor there. My point is that he was at a place in his life where he manifested his wealth through his own skill set. So now it's not like that. He can't just simply go play basketball and get the money. So he has to figure out new ways. For him, that's going to bring about some uncomfortability, right? He's not going to be as confident. He's not. And so translating that to you and believing that he can earn your trust in that way, he probably would feel like, yo, she's just going to, you know what I mean, feel more nervous if I tell her my money issues.
No.
Well, no, you may have not, but I'm saying this is how he looked at it.
But this is not the first time that we've had issues financially. You know, this is an ongoing thing.
Is this normally how he behaves when y'all have financial issues?
No.
Well, I mean talking about it. I mean the
though.
conversation saying, hey.
Not always all the time. When you can't make a way, I do make a way.
The times I stop when I don't say nothing or mention anything has been, I say, about the last 2 years. But prior to that, I used to come to her with everything.
Okay.
And about everything.
Okay.
And at that point, she couldn't give me answers. So eventually, I couldn't, I had to try to start figuring it out on my own, to figure it out on my own. So that's why.
What answers were I supposed to give you? I'm sorry. What would you come to me to that you wanted my help with?
Before we even left California, we used to talk about different issues and stuff that we had. When we got here, we talked about different issues. I used to come to you about any issues that we had.
Let's talk about what issues.
The rent.
But I helped maintain that when I needed to. We had dogs. I started Puppy Friends Social Club in California in that one-bedroom apartment. Okay.
And when did you help pay the rent?
I did help with that. Yeah, when you told me you needed it. But you know what? When you live with a man, the man's supposed to take care of you.
And I never disagreed with that. I never argued with that. I was doing what I was supposed to do.
Right, you were. I'm not. Let me make it clear.
To say I don't talk to you. I used to talk to you about everything, and I just stopped because I wasn't getting the answers from you that I was looking for.
Because I was trying to find the answers myself then at that point in time when I'm going to people to try to help us pay things. Don't act like I didn't help at that time also. I did.
I want to try to pause y'all for a moment here. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but you guys are having issues that go on in other households. Money issues. Now, people going to be looking at this expecting y'all to not have money issues because you were this big-time ball player and stuff. Like, man, people have issues regardless. This happens. Nobody's relationship does not have these things. It happens, right? So, number one, let's not be judgmental if you're on the other side observing this, but what you should see is the poor conflict resolution, okay? He's saying he's been talking to her about certain things, didn't get an answer. She's saying, yo, why you looking to me for an answer, right? You're supposed to be the provider. He's like, I get that. So you understand that they have both kind of similar thoughts here. He knows his role. She expects him to embody that role. He don't have a problem with the role, right? But when the rubber meets the road and it gets tough, both parties have to work together to figure out how we're going to survive. Now, typically, we don't like what that looks like when we're in survival mode. We often have to borrow money from brothers or friends, and we don't even tell our wives. Here we are, she thinking we just in debt. You owe Peter and Paul, right? And this is all, and you got to get it back. You got to, how am I going to tell them I don't even really have it? I thought I had it by this time. These million things going on in your mind. To you, you're doing the same thing. You're having to go outside of your family, outside of your husband, your provider, to ask somebody else for help. And what wife want to go through that? But these are things when you start to find out what really is our relationship made of. Can we depend on each other? Can we get a situation together? It may not always be sunshine and rainbows, right? So what I want to do is let me just play this video and bring us back to this conversation, because I don't want to talk about so many different conversations and issues to where we lose sight of why we're actually here, okay? So let's play a little bit of that video. I'm going to stop it, guys. I'm going to do something I haven't done on this show, but I'm going to kind of react to this video as we go through it, all right? So let's get to the first part of the video where they're arguing, of course, and this is how you guys originally saw the video. Let's see.
This shit is stupid, yo. I can't believe I'm sitting here just finding out you got an OnlyFans page. Out of all these years, yo, the disrespect that comes with it, that you couldn't even talk to me before you did it, that's bullshit, yo. That's fucked up, Keith.
All right, so I had to stop it there. I know we just got started on the video, but what did you hear him say? The disrespect in putting this up without me knowing, yo, that's fucked up, Keish. That's fucked up. Now, that early in, now, listen, guys, I'm not somebody who's much better at this than y'all, but we can easily see this from the outside looking in. If you're in the situation and your emotions are involved, you're not likely going to see this stuff. But to us on the outside looking in at it, we can see here was a great opportunity for her to respond to what he said. So that's fucked up, right? It's disrespectful that you do this without me knowing. That's what he said there. Now, I want your next response was he turned around and noticed that you were recording, right? You begin to also say why he was angry. But if he's saying to you, hey, you didn't talk to me about it first, what you should be focused on is why you didn't talk to him about it first. And that could look like, I completely understand you being upset. That's called validation. That's saying I understand you have a right to your feelings and you're upset. Now, you already did it, but you're saying, hey, I do understand that you're upset because you were upset whenever he didn't talk to you about certain things. Whenever you came to him, you said, hey, we have an issue with finances, and he didn't want to talk. Didn't that bother you?
Yeah.
So likewise, you should understand that it bothers him that you didn't talk to him. But actually what's going on is you're actually upset with him because he didn't talk to you. You actually did it because you said, hey, why I owe him?
I'm really upset because you know how behind every great man there's a good woman? Well, I feel like a piece of shit. That's how I feel.
Why?
Having that man in front of me, because he's not being great, and I know he can be. So what kind of motivation am I? What is it about me that you can't get it together?
So now I'll say this.
You feel like a piece of shit with me in front of you?
I feel like a piece of shit.
Hang on, Joe. Hang on, one second.
I'm saying, I feel like behind every great man, there's a good
Set
woman.
emotions to the side and hear
So
from
I'm
him.
saying, what is it about me? What is it about me that you can't get it together? I don't feel great. I don't feel like I'm a good woman with you.
So can I say this real quick?
Why am I not motivational enough? Why can't we get it right?
Let me say this, kids, for 1 second, okay?
I feel like
Now-
a piece of shit, like I'm no good.
Right, and
So-
I can understand. So I want you to think about this, okay? Before we continue to the rest of the video, I really want to do that. But let's say you have a woman who doesn't feel beautiful, right? She doesn't feel.
No, I know I'm beautiful.
No,
I know
that's
I'm
not what I'm
great.
saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm trying
I'm trying to
to
understand why you don't want to be great for me.
Right, I just want
As great as I am, I want to be for you.
Right, I just want to give him a little bit of understanding here. So just imagine you have a wife and she doesn't feel beautiful. She doesn't feel confident in herself, and she's looking for you to validate her, right? Now, if you're constantly criticizing, right? If you're not pouring into her by saying, look, you beautiful, you're the most beautiful woman I ever saw. Why don't you think you're beautiful? You're absolutely gorgeous to me. And leading with also effort, not just what you're saying, then maybe she can feel beautiful, right? And then you can bring that inner beauty out of her and that confidence out of her, right? So likewise, when your man is down, right? When he's down and out, he's depressed, he's discouraged. What he actually needs is uplifting. And he needs for you to motivate him, for you to speak life into him.
I think I've been trying to do that.
Well, you got to do it nonstop. When you're somebody's wife, you can't stop it. You can't say, well, I'm tired of doing that now. Now let me tell you who you really are. So right now, mind you, right now you're saying the type of man he is. Why don't he elevate? Why don't he do this? The way a woman encourages her man is not like that. It's by speaking life into him. I feel you're better than this.
I tell him that all the time. I
but
know
it has
you're
to
great.
be. It can't ever be this.
I know you're great. I know you're.
Do you see how you about walked away when you
everything.
said that? Because you're to the point to where you are hurting, you're in your emotions, and it's what you're trying to pull out of him ain't coming out of you in the best way. So you're wanting, after what you say, that it sharpens him, that he's the man you want him to be. But the things that you're saying, they're tearing him down. Now they're coming from a place of where you want to see the greatness in him. But the words that you're using to get the greatness out of them is tearing them down, because you're saying things
well, when
like,
you use the great words, no matter what words you use, is not working. So what
but
do
you
I
have
do?
to keep using them. Just
And
like a
then
man
who's
would have to
putting-
keep telling his
who's
wife
putting
she's
that
beautiful.
reinforcement into me.
Right,
You
but-
know, like I be fucked up every day too.
Again,
But I still get up off my ass and I do everything.
if both parties are not going to understand that they have things going on and they need each other, so they have to separate the anger and animosity that they have for each other so they can give each other what they need. You're not going to be able to work through this. Now, if you love your husband, you love your marriage, outside of the financial issues, outside of you guys not being able to see eye to eye right now, you got to be willing to say, okay, I got to learn a better way of talking to him. Yes, I want different from him. Yeah, I want better from him. And y'all might be able to say that on both sides, but there has to be a way to deliver that information and the other person constructively.
Yeah,
and
my
not
daughter
feel like
says that I
something
have a
tears them
bad
down.
way of saying things. She knows I mean well, but the way it comes out, I don't know how. Look, the streets raised me, so life has always been harsh. So I don't have any other deliveries but than what I have.
Well, that's
You
why
know
you
what
have to.
I'm
That's why you have to work on it.
Like
You have
I've
to be willing to
been,
work on it.
nobody's been non-abrasive with me. It's been real facts. This is what it is. Get your shit together, and that's what I've had to do in my life.
Well,
You know,
I'll
it's
put it-
been hard. It's been hard knocks, and it's not been soft. So I don't know how to be soft like that.
I understand. I
I
understand.
say what it is. I can't beat around the bush and pussyfoot.
Here's what I'll say to you, and you as well. Okay, you can take
And
the
it's
time.
not from a place of non-love. It's
No, I
I
hear you.
deeply
I hear
love.
you. If you don't take the time to sharpen how you deal with your partner, sharpen how you can be, because I say man frame, woman frame is maintaining patience. No matter how upset your partner makes you, you still have to speak with love. If you're not doing that, what you're going to manifest is an argument. So you're going to be there all day, probably for several, because we're refusing to work on those things by saying things like, hey, I just call it like I see it. I'm just not soft like that. I just don't talk to people like that. Hey, if you're adopting these things as your personality, that's fine.
Babe,
But
didn't I just buy us these 2 books?
I have a greater book for you than any of those. It's called The Emotional Terrorizer.
Well,
You
we
really
gotta
have to
read it
this
together,
book.
though.
We can have a book club, and we can set up on, because I'd love to work with you guys through these issues, because I can guarantee you guys over the smallest issue, you probably argue for days on end, not being able to see eye to eye, and probably while you're talking about one specific issue, a million other issues get brought into it, and it's difficult to even find your way through it all.
No, honestly, we don't argue like that. We argue, then we get
Well,
quiet.
when you guys
and
have a
then
conflict, because right
it
now that
just,
seems to be
you
happening.
know,
That's how it happens.
So watch
What?
this, guys.
Small thing, and then even, her mom says it sometimes, like this small thing that you could be discussing or whatever, all of a sudden there's a million things, just like
Right.
right there in the interview.
Right.
Just like all the interviews she's been doing. A million things just get poured on one little tiny thing.
And that's why I'm trying to uncover them so we can focus on this one thing. Because if we fix it, you'll find that y'all don't contend so much. Understanding your partner, what's happened in the past has happened. No need in arguing about it. You can't change how your partner feels about it. And so just deal with your partner and how they feel. There's no right and wrongs here. So often when a man comes to his wife about an issue, she's trying to not be wrong. when that's irrelevant. Morals are irrelevant here. Your partner's only talking to you about how you made them feel. So, and before we go there, let's get to some more of the video here, okay? We're at the part to where he starts off saying, that's messed up, that's messed up, that's disrespectful, right?
I mean, you know, I know you want to keep going back to the video. We have problems, we
Sure,
have
we do.
issues. I think we need to just have counseling and figure them out. Going back and forth to the video isn't going to help us figure out our problems.
Trust me, it will. Trust me, it will. I promise you. This short video is very telltale. It's very revealing. So if you don't mind, let's just watch it. Take
I'm
2 minutes
tired
of
of
our lives.
watching it.
I'm sure you are. But from this perspective, it'll be very good for you to kind of soak up this information, just so you can see yourself in the heat of that moment.
I've
Now,
seen myself a lot of times.
So
Can we
just try this with me.
discuss?
Try this with me. As you saw yourself, right? Or as you was in that situation, you know how you felt in that situation. You know you felt like, obviously being a little petty. You felt like he hadn't been listening to you. You felt like, why am I even having to argue when I did what I could do to save this family? We're in a better situation. Why are you even arguing about it? I want you to remember all the feelings you felt at that moment. But I want you to actually see the video and realize the experience you was inviting upon him. It's just real simple. Let's start from the rest of the video, okay, guys? Let's go back.
I'm telling you, though, that's fucked up.
Wait, no, calm. But you're not gonna say fuck me or that's fucked up. It's not fucked up.
You recording me? What the fuck you doing?
Listen, it's not fucked up, and
What you mean it's
we're
not
going
fucked
to.
up?
Okay, look. So, I
It's
have an
disrespectful, first
OnlyFans
of all.
page, and he's mad because he's just now finding out about it.
Of course I'm mad I'm just finding
But-
out about it.
Okay. All right, so your first response was, don't you say fuck me, or don't say that's fuck, that's fuck. So notice how he said that's fucked up, Keith, that's fucked up. What you were more focused on was that it wasn't fucked up. When
No,
what
it's
he was
not
trying to-
fucked up. When
Right,
there's
so-
other shit that he got going on that's fucked
Right,
up.
but so what he said is that it's messed up you didn't tell me. So that's his perspective of it. What you're thinking is, no, it's not messed up that I didn't tell you. So now here's the contention. He just wants you to know that that is disrespectful and messed up that you didn't tell him. If you're on the other side saying it's not messed up, then now he has to convince you why it is, when that should be something that's acceptable. That
Right.
you understand he sees that it's fucked up. Now, it may not be after you explain it all, right? But what he sees it as is it's fucked up, right? So you start to walk off and you say, well, he's angry because I started doing the OnlyFans without him knowing. That shows that you knew why he was upset. And what did he say? Of course, that's why I'm angry, right? So that right there, you didn't validate him. You're saying that, yeah, I did that, and you don't have a right to be angry. And when you're saying, hey, he's angry because it sounds like you're condescending, like that's no reason to be upset, right? And maybe you feel that way, but at that moment, you have to listen to your partner. This is how they feel. You're not necessarily wrong yet. Just hear them, take it in, and then you can know your partner's upset. Okay, I understand how you feel. Let me talk to you about why I didn't tell you. And maybe you guys are not having this heated argument. You understand what I'm saying? Does this make a little bit of sense to you? Let's just play the video, guys.
I'm not doing it with anybody but myself,
It
so why
don't
should I have to
matter.
tell you my
It
choice,
don't
my
matter.
body, my
I'm your
body, my
lover.
fucking
I'm your lover. I'm
choice?
your-
Okay, so as you guys can see, the next thing that she said is, I'm not doing it with anybody but myself. Now, I believe you're saying that because you're letting him know it's not like I'm cheating on you. It's not like I'm sleeping with other men.
Right. It's not like
Now,
I'm doing what you're doing.
Absolutely. So, whatever that means. All right, but anyway, it's not like he's that you're cheating necessarily. You're letting him know that. So you're saying, hey, this is just something I'm doing with me on the camera. But the fact remains is it was without telling him. So that's not gonna change the fact that it was without telling him, nor make him feel better about you not telling him about it. So I'm sure he knows right now it's just you on there. And also you go in from that to it's my body, my choice. But at this point, you guys are married. You're married. That doesn't sound good when you tell your husband it's my body, my choice. What that sounds like is I don't have to be accountable for any decision that I make, regardless of how it impacts you or anybody else, because it's my body and my choice. When you're married, things do have to be talked about. It's a sacred union. You guys are saying that sort of my body is yours and your body is mine. And you guys are willing to sacrifice for each other. That autonomy of all your decisions being your own, like as if you were single. Now, I'm thinking that on any other day where you are not absolutely upset and going through this, you know this, because there's a debt of loyalty and things that you would give your husband. There's a certain way you're going to carry yourself because you're married.
Yeah.
But at that day, you felt like you were being grilled. And so now you're fighting for your rights, right? It's my body, it's my choice. This is something that people say in the world, right? But it's not something that married couples should be saying back and forth, if that makes any sense to you, right? He could say my body, my choice when it comes to not changing to fix the situation around himself, right? He could say, I'm comfortable with living on this type of income. My body, my choice. Why should I have to go work extra hours because you want a lifestyle? My body, my choice. But that wouldn't be fair either, right? It's more so.
But without saying so, that's how I feel inside.
Sure, and I can see that. That's how you feel. And so your feelings are colliding with his when in that moment he came to you with an issue. And you have to be willing to resolve your husband's issue, then make yours. Then present your issues. But if he's trying to talk to you about his issues and all you're saying is, I have issues too, you doing things too, y'all gonna be just arguing and y'all not gonna fix the problem. And that's why y'all gonna be so upset like you are right now, right? Let's go back, let's continue. Let's watch a little bit more of this video. I know,
You
Kiss.
in this video.
It's the video, it's you. Let's go.
I've been asking for solutions to shit. You not giving me none, so I created one.
That's no solution. Not in my book. That's no
You knew
solution.
who the fuck I was when you met me.
Before
Before,
we met, yeah.
All right, guys. So as you can see, she's saying that she came to him with options, right? I talked to you about options. I expressed to you I was very nervous about our financial situation, that I didn't feel secure, that things had changed, and I'm not seeing any difference from you. That's what I hear right there, right? Am I wrong about that?
No.
I talked to you about this situation, right? But you still didn't say, I'm going to get on OnlyFans. And that's what he's saying. So to you, you're saying, well, before you say I didn't talk to you about it, know this. I came to you about options and I talked to you about it and you didn't have anything to tell me. And he says, that's not an option to me. Now, I want you to understand something. From a man that loves you regardless of your background, because the next thing you say is, when you met me, I was this way. You knew this when you met me, right?
Right.
So he knew that when he met you, and yet and still he wanted you to be his wife. So he looked past any of that stuff and wanted you to be his wife, right? So to a man, a lot of times, we feel like the life a woman lives before him is often because she had to survive. So he wants to rescue her a lot of times.
Right.
So he could be feeling like, really like he failed you, because you're saying that, you know, I talked to you about other options, and he said that ain't an option for me. So maybe he would be like, I don't want my wife to have this because
So I'm
we're
supposed
having
to go work
issues.
at McDonald's or something.
Well, no, but any man would
just
say, I don't want my
wondering.
wife to have to do this to make money, because he would think that she doesn't want to do something like that. So you think a man would say, as a man, as a provider, you would feel like, wouldn't you feel like you failed or something like that if that's the...
That's exactly how I feel.
Right.
That's
And
exactly how I feel around the household. Not just to her, to my own kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I can't see them and be with them the way I want to. So, I mean, it's not just what's happening under our roof. It's expanding beyond that.
absolutely. I'm the same way. I had to create my platform from the ground up. I went through moments where, when I got demonetized for different things and stuff like that. And during that time, I'm feeling so defeated, because there's things I'd like to get my children that I can't. They come and ask me for allowance. I couldn't give them that during that time. They asked for certain things, and it almost made me
Kevin,
want to
if
cry.
he would
They asked
come
for something
home-
simple, and I couldn't give it to them.
Kevin,
It make you feel bad.
Kevin, he should come home so we can talk about our finances again, because they look a little better. And maybe, you know, if he decides to work with me on OnlyFans or something, we could really make a lot of money.
Well, my goal is that you guys are
know?
back in your home and you have an understanding and y'all can move past this. So I'm with you on that. I think you guys have put so much time into each other. You did already know about her background before this. She said that to you, but I also want to point out that that's counterproductive as well. Many times when a man marries a woman, if he brings up her past, she'll say, don't hold my past against me, right? Don't you dare use my past against me. If that's the case...
I'm using my past against me.
Well, again, that's what it sounds like. If you're saying, if you don't want him using the past against you, you don't want to say, well, you knew I was like this when you met me. You understand what I'm saying? Because now going forward, he has to question, what are your moves going to be like? Because you're literally saying you're doing something because you've been this way. And people change and grow, right?
People do grow and change. However, you know, I know that in this day and age, sex sells, and that works.
Right, but that's okay. Let's just say, from the standpoint of sex sales, and you've been an adult actress, of course, he knows that you will do that, but he doesn't know that as a wife, would you go behind his back and do that without talking to him? So when you say
I
you
I
met
could
me,
see if I went on a full porn set and I was doing a full-fledged porn set with someone, I could see that being a problem.
well, right, and that's what I was going to say. Notice how she just said, I could see if I did this, this, and that, right? it's not about you seeing. It's about you understanding what he sees. And this is conflict resolution.
I'm sorry, you guys. You're not seeming to understand that it's not about that anymore for me. It's about what has to happen for the better of us.
Well, you got to get
and
to
there
that
are
point.
things, I mean, like, he says that I bring up this and I bring up that. There's a lot of things that I'm not bringing up that are precedents for him. So I think that he should just be cool.
Well, okay, so you can't
I'm
see
sorry,
the value.
babe.
You can't see
I'm
the
just
value.
saying, like, you need to come home. Like, honestly, you not being at home is not good, okay? If you come home, you can see how things are about to change for us. I just need you to come home, all right? You not being home is making me even more angrier, feeling like, you're doing something.
Could that be your own conscience?
No, it's not. We have already tried to have conversations about stuff. Listen, Kevin, I have said things to him. I've been transparent with him about things that I've done before. I've had an infidelity, and I told him, and I wanted to talk about because of his thing. And it's like, I'm so transparent. You know what I'm saying? If you ask me something, yeah, I did it. But I don't get that on the other end. And so at this point, it's like, just come home, let's talk, and let's figure this out if we're going to figure it out. If not, let's not. But I don't want to play the game anymore. I've brought home other people to be in relationship with us. I've tried so many things to just make it spicy and great. But we like secrets. We like, and then I have this one little secret, and it's a huge problem. You know what I'm saying? And then it's not even a secret that's a selfish secret. It's a secret that is for us.
So, again, with all the things that you guys are doing to spice up your marriage and all that, that's all great. But if you don't deal with the conflict resolution issues y'all have, it won't resolve. And I know you're saying, I want my husband home. I want him to know I've fixed this financial problem for us, or it's fixing, whatever the case may be. Until you're actually able to recognize the issues that he's saying he's having, I don't know that you'll get that. And I know that you're saying, hey, I want this to fix, but I'm showing you the video of things that are very easily, you can easily see the issue, and you're not speaking to it. You're only making excuses, and that's never going to help. That's only going to make your situation worse. So for him, he's very upset because you did it without talking to him. And if you're not willing to see that he's upset because whether you understand it or not, he's upset because you did it without talking to him. Maybe he trusted his wife to be able to talk with him. Maybe he trusted that his wife, before she done anything like that, would run it by him, and he's upset about that.
I talked to him about a lot of things.
But you didn't talk to him about that, and so you got to focus on that. I don't know if you've ever done that and said, you know what, but you're right. I should have talked to you. I apologize, and then see where you can get from there. Or if you're just saying, hey, I want you home. I want to stop arguing. I want this to end, because that's not going to be what fixes it. You have to actually embody what you're saying you want to create, and that means.
I will talk to you next time before I do anything drastic. I apologize for not doing it this time, but I will do it next time. I'll be more just, look, I'm going to do this. And then you can say no, or I don't want you to, but I'm still probably going to do what I'm going to do anyway. If you're not going to show me something different, you know what I'm saying? If you can't guide me another way.
Now, with that being said, Joe, she'll talk to you about it, and she's talking to you about it so you know, but it's not necessarily for your counsel, right? Whether you say yes or no, she'll likely still do it.
Depending on what it is.
Of course. And I'm saying that to say that's not something that you should draw a lot of anger towards, because she is an adult, right? And when you marry somebody and bring them into your life, you want to be able to trust that they can make decisions as an adult, right? And so you're going to have disagreements. There's going to be sometimes you want her to do this instead of that, and she's going to do that, right?
I've made a lot of bad decisions for our household. Have I made a lot of bad decisions? Outside of this right here, this could be, I'll take this as an L. This was a bad decision on my part. But for the most part, I don't think I make bad decisions for our household.
Don't even go in, because it's not about it being an L. And I think that if couples think that way, that means you'll work very hard for it not to be an L. It's just a moment that your husband found an issue. if you have saved your family, I don't know if you guys have talked about your finances since you've been doing the OnlyFans.
No,
or
I mean,
even
I
since
really
the
haven't
video went
saved us,
crazy and
but
people was
I
talking
need
about
him
it,
to come home so it
Okay.
can save us. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
people want to talk to him, and I can't get him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people want to see what he has to say, and you know, and I just think that he needs to come home so we can strategize and work together and make this the best that it could possibly be.
Keep in mind this has nothing to do with anybody else in this world, in the whole entire world. It's just you guys. If you guys want to stay together and love each other and work through this, ain't nothing any of us can say, right? So the main problem is, how do you guys see eye to eye and get back where you guys need to be, right? So here's the thing, guys, all right? What I didn't like about the video is that it was made public. These issues should have been handled behind closed doors.
I
Whatever
mean, honestly,
you felt
Kevin,
during that
I
moment.
took the video down immediately, and then someone snatched it and put it back up. So
Well, probably
I don't
me.
know.
I'm one of them, and I guess we all contribute to this somehow because we will post it, you know. So I don't know whether or not you've deleted the video. I see it on somebody's page. I want to talk about it, and I'm going to react to these types of videos. So maybe we're not helping much when we show these things, but it's up to you first and foremost to not post those things. And once you put them up there, now you have to deal with it. And that's what's happening right now. You're dealing with it, and he has to publicly deal with it. When he tried to talk to you about it, this conversation should have been in the home, but you went public. Why? Why did you say, I want to reveal to the whole world, not just my husband being upset and angry, he's a 6'10" black man. So I'm not only just going to show him being angry, I want the world to know about our issue. And now when the world wants to know about it, it's like you're upset about it. You don't want to talk about it, but you brought this to the world because at that moment you felt like you were right in what you did. Now the world's saying you're wrong, and it's not looking like you thought it would look. They're actually more so understanding what Joe's going through.
Well, then someone needs to help him then. Shaq, can you get a Papa John's?
Wow. Okay. Kiss, that was wrong. Joe.
Yeah, I'm out, y'all.
Joe.
I'm out, y'all.
Kiss.
What was wrong about that?
All right, so if you're saying it help should come from anybody outside of your husband, that is saying that you don't trust him. It's saying that you don't believe in him anymore. So he's your provider. If you trust him in that, and when he's not the provider, you as the wife is his helpmeet. So when he's not the provider, you help to. He hunts, you have the garden. When he can't hunt, he gets injured. Y'all have the garden, right?
Right,
Of
but
course,
he's
it
always
ain't as
injured.
plentiful
I'm
just
sorry,
to get off the
he's
garden.
always injured, Kevin. I
But
think
if that's still the
I'm
man you
done with
married,
this
so if you
also.
want, that's still the man you married.
Kevin, I think you should probably go find your friend
Mm-hmm.
and talk to him because he needs counseling. He needs to
you-
become the man that
you
you
both
are.
need that,
Because
love.
you have several wives that you are maintaining and holding down.
But if I couldn't
And-
talk to them, we
but
wouldn't be
you
able to
wanna
have
know
a happy
something?
relationship.
There's a respect that you earned from them because you've been holding them down. You showed them the man that you are.
Yes, ma'am.
I've not seen that yet.
Well, I
Not
certainly
from
want to
day
talk.
one.
I certainly do want to talk to
So,
him about it. But
let's
I'm just
get
saying.
him in a position to where he can be the man that I can sit down and be like, I can trust you. You can really take care of me. Because if I had $1 for every time he said I got you, we'd be okay.
Okay, so I'll do this, Kiss. Hang on, don't you leave too. Okay, let's hold on. All right, get ourselves together here. You asked the question, why did he walk off?
I know why he walked off because
so
that's
you
what
do
he does
understand.
all the time.
Well, do you say things like that all the time?
When shit gets rough and he don't have an answer, he walks off.
Okay, so make a deal with me, Kiss, okay? Kiss is asking that I counsel Joe. I would love to. I would only if I could counsel you and you and him as a relationship goes. I want to
I'll
be able
think
to.
about it. You can talk to him first.
Okay, well, I guess I'll
I
have
have
to
my
ask
own
Joe
therapist.
first, but you do want your relationship to heal, right?
I do.
Okay, and you actually have a therapist now,
Yeah,
but your
I have
issues
a
are still
therapist.
ongoing. So allow me, please, to be able to sit with you guys and just offer some of my thoughts, some of my perspective,
okay.
and hopefully I can help. Again, I have 2 wives. I'm obviously
know.
doing something that
You are.
you know, I've put a lot of work in understanding my wives, understanding how they feel. Even when I don't feel like they have a reason for being upset, I still have to listen. I still have to understand and understand where they are coming from.
Right.
Wait.
It's just that no one lives in my house. You know?
You do.
No, I'm saying like you,
Sure, I don't.
not anybody else lives in
No.
my home. So you know, until you walk in my shoes, just don't judge me.
There is no
Period.
judgment here. That's
Don't
why I
judge
say
me,
that.
and don't think that I'm the only thing. I'm the problem because I'm not listening or I'm so harsh. That's all I want to say.
All I'll say is this. I don't think that you are the problem. I think that the way you are handling conflict that you guys have is a problem. I also think the way he's handling conflict with you is a problem. And that's what's manifesting into this big overall problem. So don't you think that I'm sitting here looking at you with a critical eye. I just hadn't got to him yet. I had a lot of things I wanted to say to him as well. He should have talked to you about your finances. When you talked to him, you taught it. He should have sat down and been willing to have a conversation. He should know that because you were self-sufficient when you met him, that you had a background when you met him, that full well you were completely adequate to help him get out of this financial situation. So a man should know the ability that his wife has as well.
Exactly.
And obviously it's paying off the thing that you did. Now that's whether we agree with it or not. That's y'all's relationship, right? So I'm not saying you're all bad here. I'm saying the way y'all resolve conflicts is not good at all.
Well,
okay?
hopefully we can figure it out.
I hope so too. Only if hopefully you're willing to talk
No,
with me
I'll
after
come
this.
back and talk to you again.
Okay,
I'm down.
because I'd love to talk to Joe. Hopefully I can get Joe back in here on a personal interview and just talk with him. That obviously infuriated him, what she said. I don't think that she meant to say it to infuriate him, but I think she's just speaking how she feels, man. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. But listen, guys, until next time, I'm sure you guys are going to comment and say what you have to say. Hopefully I can get them back together and we can finish this conversation. But again, Kiss, thank you. I know this was difficult. Very difficult for you. We didn't even get to finish the video.
Yeah, I want to
your
finish the
family to
video.
be healthy. Sure,
Tired of
sure.
watching that video.
I know
damn it.
something that you do want. You want
What?
your family to be healthy. You want to get back to harmony. You want your
Yes.
husband home, right? So here's what happens. There was an issue in your finances. Husband was home. Now you fixed the issue with your finances. Husband's
I
not
haven't
home.
fixed the issue with my
Okay,
finances
I thought
yet.
that- I
They're
thought they were
far from
corrected.
fixed.
Okay.
Y'all don't know everything.
Okay.
Period. Okay?
Okay.
This man, let me just shut the fuck
No,
up.
talk to me. Talk
No.
to me. I guess.
Okay, it's over. Thank you.
Okay. Well, Kiss, thank you so much, love. Family, as you see, I tried my best to try and mediate and get to the bottom of this, but emotions are they're just running high, okay? Hopefully we can get them back and finish this conversation, family. My goal is to get them back to harmony, but until next time, family, we'll have this conversation. Thanks for stopping by. Peace.